Hello everyone, welcome to Theory of Everything, where it only takes us one shot to film a video. On the topic of one shot, let's talk about our favorite feline cat, Nico. Our story begins with Nico waking up in a strange house in a world without sunlight. Inside the house, they find a giant light bulb, and this so happens to be the world's sun. Prophetbot, a helpful robot outside of the house, tells Nico that it's their mission to take the sun to the top of a tower to restore the world's light. This sounds pretty easy, right? Well, not so much. There are many puzzles that get in the way from getting to the top of the tower, like pushing sheep or finding this thwomp a pin. But we aren't here to talk about that. We are here to talk about the three main areas of the game, which are the Barrens, the Glen, and the Refuge. Well, let's not get too ahead of ourselves. Let's first talk about the Barrens. The Barrens is a desolate land filled with multiple abysses, broken down machinery, and abandoned factories. Nico's main goal in this area is to restore power to the land and fix a robot that will take him to the next area. Try saying that like 10 times. While Nico is running around trying to find everything, the theme in the background is named Phosphor. Take a listen. This piece is in C major and switches to G major later on, but we only have time for the first half. When looking at the piece, you can see that we get a passing tone at the start of each measure. The other three notes in the measure are giving us the strength to get to the next passing tone. If you take the three notes in the back half of each measure, you get a B diminished chord and an A minor chord for each one. And it shows us later on that this is correct by giving us the third of the notes. The instruments used in this piece are some type of mallet or bells and percussion like a drum set. So when listening to this piece, when I hear the bells, it makes me think of like Nico holding the sun, and he's the only light in this place where there's nothing at all. And then when the drums come in, I can see it as like darkness or the emptiness taking over, trying to take over this light and fighting back to show that it's truly empty. After the repairs on the robot, Nico takes us to the Glen. The Glen is a very green and grassy place. Unlike the Barrens, there are people living here. And this is where we meet my favorite character, Alula. Alula is one of two children that live in the ruins, the other one being her older brother, Calamitous. Nico first encounters Alula lost in the ruins after being stuck inside a room from these black squares. When Alula is freed, this theme plays. It's a very beautiful theme, but we aren't going to analyze this one just yet, so hold on to that. When Nico finally makes his way out of the cave with Alula behind him, they reunite with her brother and this theme plays. Take a listen. Hey, I think I've heard this somewhere before. I wonder where. This piece is called Children of the Ruins, and this theme plays once both siblings are back together. This piece is in E major, which has four sharps, F, C, G, and D. This piece starts us off with a simple E major 7th. We have a D, an E, and a B, and that spells out E major 7th, with the D being the 7th. And in this measure, we get a C sharp minor 7th, and those are like the foundations for this piece. Now I want you to think back when we listened to Alula's theme. If you haven't noticed by now, they are both the same. Alula's theme is a bit more sharp, and when I mean by sharp, is that the notes in her theme are all staccato. This gives me the impression that she is scared to be alone from her brother. So she is on edge, but she's only a kid, so you can kind of hear the playful tone in the back with the piano. The theme, Children of the Ruin, sounds a lot more calm now that she's now with her older brother. Me personally, I like this one better. It's very nice sleep music. The next and last area we'll be heading to is the Refuge. The Refuge is the main city of the world of OneShot. Mostly everyone lives here. As the world is slowly corrupting, everyone is either forced here or trapped here. From the Glen, Alula and her older brother take Nico to this guy named Cedric. Cedric happens to own a flying machine and takes Nico to the Refuge. Once Nico sets foot in the Refuge, the theme On Little Cat Feet starts playing. Let's take a listen. First, let's take note of all the instruments. This piece has drums, piano, organ, a synth pad, a vibraphone, and marimba, and a thing called a theorem? Whoa, that's a lot of instruments. Like, what even is a theorem? Let's go over all of them. Of course, we know what drums and a piano are, but what about the rest? An organ is just like a piano, but instead of having vibrating strings, it uses pipes to create its sound, and it's a lot more complex than piano. It's like a piano, but for tryhards. A synth pad is a type of sound produced by a synthesizer, and it's used to help give strength to the main instrument, so it's usually just big block chords to give a really nice atmosphere to add just more to the piece. A vibraphone is an instrument in the percussion family, and it uses its metal bars to produce this mellow tone when struck with mallets. Marimba is the exact same thing, but instead of metal bars, it has wooden bars, so it creates a different type of sound. And the last type of instrument is the theremin. The theremin is a unique instrument. It has no valves or no strings. It generates sound using electromagnetic fields, and the player controls pitch and volume by moving their hands near two antennas. This piece is in B minor, so we have two sharps, both F sharp and C sharp. The first measure lays out a B minor chord with the added ninth, with the synth pad giving us F sharp in the bass and B in the treble. And in the marimba part, we also get the D to spell out B minor. And the vibraphone pretty much has everything: B, F sharp, and the D, and also C sharp. Once the drums and the organ come in, they just add more to the piece. All of these songs have the same pattern. It's like a cake. They give us a main theme, repeated over and over again, adding more and more on top of it. You see this in a lot of indie games, and it will come back around. Once the theorem comes in, Night Margin really gives the add 9 more meaning. It's more than just a passing tone now. It's now the most heard thing. It also changes the whole vibe of the song. I believe this piece is trying to show us everything is in one place. Everything is in the Refuge. Nico and the sun is represented by the vibes in the marimba. The other people trying to make a living here as the world is falling apart is represented by the drums, and the mystery of the tower and all the unknowns is represented by the theorem. Today we walked through the world of OneShot and followed Nico on his journey. There are so many more amazing pieces in OneShot, and they are all worth listening to, so you should go check it out and play through it. I want to give a shout out to Night Margin themselves for making an amazing game with an amazing music. Please go follow them. I can't wait for the next game. Thank you for watching, and this is Theory of Everything.